All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Sorry, I started the stream and then I had to step away because there was an eyelash in the corner of my eye, just along the edge of it. And I was moving my eye around and I couldn't for the life of me figure out why that was happening. So I had to actually go and get that out. But, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to begin with more Solo Leveling Ragnarok. So let's begin, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to more Solo Leveling Ragnarok. In the last chapter, we seen Lee Min-sung interact with one of the apostles of the Iterim, and we also get a little bit of a backstory of why Lee Min-sung has partnered with the Iterim in order for him to just get revenge on his driver, his car driver, who awakened to a higher rank as a hunter than him. Lee Min-sung, this big star, this big celebrity, and then when he awakened as a hunter, he just literally let it go to his head. But now it feels like there's something in the corner of my eye on this side. Because it was in this corner of my eye, and it was along the lining of it, just jabbing into it. It was annoying. Really hope that it doesn't mean that there's one in the corner of this eye now. But he let this get to his head, and he was just so big on prestige and everything. So when he goes to meet this apostle, we come to learn that the deal he has for getting Stardust and all this material is for Iterim to take out his driver. Basically, the whole deal is that, hey, I supply you with everything you need in order to make Stardust. You supply me with the death of my driver. That's the whole reason why I'm in this big major deal with you guys. And the apostle, who turns out to be the baby that we saw in Broki's memories, has grown. Because apparently it sent itself here to the earth in pieces, because its full form wouldn't have been able to travel through because it has that much power. So it's been sending itself in pieces. And Lee Min-sung thinks that, oh, you know what? I bet you ain't even that strong. I could kill you right now, because the apostle is talking down to him. The apostle then proceeds to make Lee Min-sung put his foot in his mouth, because the apostle then takes control of every single person in the entire building, which effectively intimidates Lee Min-sung. So that's going on, while we also have Suho and his crew working on leveling up in order for them to get stronger, so that he can continue to help. He can continue to get stronger, so he can help out with his dad. But that was a quick recap of what we had last time. Let's move on to today's episode 24. And it proceeded to not even load up the page. There we go. And then we have someone speaking, going, "This won't turn out to be anything shady, right?" Oh, it's the people outside, and I gotta move my lamp a little bit. Hold on. So that my webcam doesn't move at all. We cut to the people outside of the gate that Suho is inside, because they're being paid to just sit outside while he trains inside, which is kind of the way that Jin did it back in the day. But she just goes, "They're paying us $5,000 just to sit here and wait until that guy returns from the gates. And the only other thing they asked for us was a non-disclosure agreement." NDA. I know what those are, because I've been in a couple. "I just don't understand how such an easy job can pay so much." "Well, this is the 4th time they've hired us, and they've always paid us exactly what they promised. Plus, gate clearing is considered a public service, so what's the harm?" "I still feel weird about all this." And mind you, the people that are helping Suho meet the quota in order to open these gates, these are people who would not be able to physically make a difference within a gate. Like the woman who's speaking right now, she has her arm in a sling. The other guy, he gets around with a crutch. These are people with disabilities that would be considered a liability within a gate.
I still feel weird about all this.
You know that you can quit if you want, right?
Well, I know, but...
But she's not wrong. Something does feel off about all this. That guy does everything on his own. He doesn't even take any excavators or collectors with him. Without excavator and collectors, it should be impossible to even make a profit off these gates. And another thing, he started off clearing D-rank gates, but he's since moved on to C-rank ones. Something poked me in my eye again, and it was another eyelash. Good lord. So, one thing I'm noticing here is how these people are questioning things more than the people that were running with Jin and Jinno back then. And another thing, he started off clearing D-rank gates, but he's since moved on to C-rank ones. What the heck is he up to while he's all alone in those gates? And we cut to the inside while we get some clanging going on. And it's the goblins. It's shadow goblins. While Beru, who is also munching on mana crystals, he goes, "Don't drag your feet. Keep up the pace." And then we have Essel.
Collection is harder than you think, right, Gray?
And they're just collecting different pieces from all the monsters that they've killed in here. Then we have Essel looking around.
By the way, the young master went off to battle a C-ranked boss all by himself. I hope he's all right.
And then there's a wham sound as we see Suho just easily dodging all of these attacks from a giant spider. This is the same gate that Jin and Jinno were in when Hongdong Suk tried to kill them. This is the same gate. Suho is going through this. This is the same gate where Jin killed his first person. When Jin got the message, you have, your life is threatened. You have this many people trying to kill you. If you do not kill them, your heart will stop. Do you accept? Because there was a threat on his life. This is the same gate. Oh my goodness, he's going through the same gates his father did. But Suho is dodging all these attacks from this same old giant spider. And Suho has a dagger. He's got a dagger like his dad! Slashing storm. And he slashes across the spider. And just like his dad, he inflicts paralysis on the spider. This is like father, like son.
Notification. Effect. Paralysis has been activated.
That's crazy.
Effect paralysis cannot be used on this opponent.
It doesn't work. Oh, it worked when Jin did it, but it doesn't work on this one. Different tactics are needed. Let me bump up the brightness because it keeps fluctuating out there. We had snow, but now that the sun's out, all of that is melting. It's tougher than I thought. I wanted to try out the paralysis effect of the dagger I recently acquired, but I guess it doesn't work on spiders. It did before, but not now. And the dagger that he got was from Kasuga. It's not Rasuka, it's Kasuga.
Item. Kasuga's Venom Fang. Acquisition difficulty. C. Type. Dagger. Attack. Plus 25. A dagger made from the poison fang of the serpent Kasuga. Kasuga's poison is imbued in this blade. Attacks using this dagger will cause bleeding and paralysis. This dagger can be stored in the inventory or sold in the shop. Effect. Paralysis. A chance-based effect that can seal off your opponent's movements. Effect. Bleeding. Your opponent will lose 1% vitality with each passing second. Same dagger his dad had. Well, I always had better luck catching bugs. And he goes and throws the dagger. He just takes it and just chucks it at the spider. Is he just going to go hands-on? And it pings off of the chitin of this spider. And that's how you pronounce it. Chitin. Chitin.
Not chitin, not chitin, chitin. But as it's in the air, Suho is above it, and his fingers clenched, and he's got like electricity buzzing around his arm. And he just lands a solid blow on this spider's face with a brrr. And I gotta go back to what he said at the beginning. Well, I always had better luck catching bugs. And then punches it in the face with my bare hands. And he's just standing there, fist all clenched. You can see the veins in his arm. And he's smiling too. Then the dagger freezes in place. Mind you, the dagger is still airborne after, pinging off of the spider. It's still airborne. And freezes. And then it suddenly starts moving on its own and slashing all over the place. I've grown strong enough to defeat a C-rank boss by myself. So not only is he punching and kicking this spider all over, but he's also using ruler's authority to basically manipulate this dagger to also slash the spider as well. I could probably move on to B-rank gates. Then there's a rumbling as it zones in on the face of the spider. I've gotten used to using the commander's authority in battle. Ruler's authority in the last story, commander's authority in this one. I haven't been just leveling up. I've been mastering... I've been mastering actual battle skills. Wait a minute. Until now, I've only used the commander's authority to move objects. What would happen if I use this invisible hand to deal attacks? Like what? Like just force choke? Is this dude gonna learn attack applications of using ruler's authority? Not using it to manipulate objects, but using it itself to deal damage? Show us. But he zips in the air, he dashes towards the spider, hits it in the face, and then jumps up in the air. And then he clenches his fist. And while he's clenching it, a mass of energy just starts to form around his hand. It starts to form around his... Wow, wait, whoa. It got way too bright. I am so sorry. I thought it would be necessary. I didn't realize it would be so bright. My apologies. I am so sorry. I double-checked to make sure my audio was good, and I saw my face, and it was so bright. My apologies. I'm sorry. Also, Ramil, good to see you. But he starts gathering up energy in his hands. The light balance is off. I'll fix it later. He starts gathering energy in his hand. And he just lets this attack forward. Mind you, downwards, because he's right above the spider. He lets it out downwards underneath him, and it craters the spider in an instant. This is something even Jin didn't do. Jin heavily relied on the bleeding and paralysis of the spider to see him through the fight in the previous story. Here, Suho has begun to seek out other applications of power in like what he already has. He seeks out different ways with his power. And he's all like, wait, if I could call this to me and manipulate this telekinetically, I wonder how this can apply to attacks. This dude can now basically do All Might punches because it bodies the spider and splits its body open. And Suho, seeing that this works, unleashes we're going to call them All Might punches. He's punching and it's just sending shockwaves forward. He's using this to just pummel the spider into the ground without even touching it. And all you see is just the shockwaves from the blows hitting this spider's body. And the spider is paced. Its head is split open and pulled off to the side.
Notification. You have defeated Giant Arachne. Level up. Skill, the commander's authority has leveled up. Skill, the commander's authority level 2. Active skill, no mana required.
That alone makes this an overpowered skill. It doesn't need mana in order to use, so you're free to use telekinesis whenever you want without any cost. That's busted.
No mana required. The user can physically manipulate objects without touching them. May cause fatigue depending on how it is used. Fatigue, 83.
And Suho is just laying on the back of the spider because the way he used it, it does use up some stamina.
Using this skill like this requires a lot of focus, so it's no wonder it leaves me so fatigued. I guess it's no good for continuous attacks.
But the fact that he learned that he can do that, though. Interesting. And then there's stepping sounds as we cut to Gray and Essel, because Suho catches up to him, and he thinks to himself,
figuring out the right way to use the commander's authority in battle will open up a whole new world of possibilities.
see, this is something that Jin did not do in the previous story. Jin just used ruler's authority just to manipulate his daggers, and that is it. But with Suho not being one to basically use weapons like that, he prefers to use his bare hands. Now he's thinking of different applications for physical melee that all of his other abilities can add on to. So I like how we're seeing, even though Suho has the power of Jin being able to be the Shadow Monarch, or he's the inheritor of the Shadow Monarch's power. Mind you, Jin is still incredibly busted. He is a universal threat. But Suho, seeing how he's taken a different approach to his powers. I like that. I like that a lot. Because this story, and I'm going to say this story would be boring if he just copied exactly what his father was doing. It would be boring. It would you might as well just read the original solo leveling after that. So I'm so glad that they took his powers and how he's approaching them in such a different direction than Jin's.
Figuring out the right way to use the commander's authority in battle will open up a whole new world of possibilities.
Young master!
And that's Essel and Gray.
Did you defeat the boss?
Yep, I won.
And then Baru, still chomping on Monocrystal, goes,
I, Baru, am deeply moved to see how you've grown. You can even take care of yourself without my help.
You just keep eating those essence stones, Baru.
Yeah, essence stones, not monocrystals. Sorry. Other game in mind.
We've collected all the usable parts from the slain monsters.
Great job.
And they have all the different parts from all these spiders. The eyes, the legs, the pincers, the mandibles, everything. All perfectly arranged as well. Then a blip pops up, and it's the store. I see the nameless sword, someone's broadsword, chaos potion, oxygen stone, scarlet marble? But he's just scrolling through the store. Oh, he's selling all this stuff. He's selling all this stuff.
Plus 200 gold. Plus 500 gold.
Being able to sell what we collect directly to this shop is a handy feature.
It seems you've grown to the equivalent of a B-rank hunter, young master.
Really? I've gone up 8 levels, so I guess that sounds about right.
Stats. Name, Sung Soo-ho. Level, 28. Job, none.
He doesn't have a job. He doesn't have a job title yet. Like, mind you, he's getting stronger, and we're seeing him getting stronger, and he's got all these powers and everything, but unlike his father, he doesn't have, like, a job. A job that would give him even more strength yet.
Job, none. Fatigue, 83. Title, Wolfslayer. HP, well, 5,350 out of 5,350. MP, 564 out of 564. Strength, 63. Vitality, 48. Agility, 37. Intelligence, 37. Perception, 42 plus 5. Available ability points, 0. Passive skills, Tenacity level 2. Hand-to-hand combat level 1. I'm surprised hand-to-hand combat has not upgraded with all these fights he's been doing. Active skills, the Commander's Authority level 2. Shadow Extraction level 2. Slashing Storm level 1.
It seems your companions have been growing stronger alongside you, young master.
That's true. I can feel more of my strength returning with every battle I fight.
And, Gray's enjoying himself as well.
I haven't had any blood to drink in a while, so I wonder how my strength was able to return.
Hey, wait. I can see your levels now.
Assel Randaru, level 19. Gray, level 17.
Oh, we get an estimation of where their strength is. Ha! Love it.
We have levels? That's strange. We're not players in this system like the Young Master or the Shadow Monarch.
Can you also see your status windows?
I don't think so.
I can't see their stats, but I assume their abilities would have risen along with their levels. It's a good thing that these two can keep growing stronger, but heirs, the companion system, there are so many things I still don't understand. Want to check if you two are actually leveling up?
Huh? How?
If we keep doing our raids, I'm sure you'll level up at one point or another.
Another raid? We already did 2 today!
Okay, maybe the raid can wait. How about a daily quest instead?
Young master, I must remind you that all things should be done in moderation.
And it shows Suho and company walking into the Shadow Dungeon. They literally just walked from the gate they were in into the Shadow Dungeon. So this is an effective way for them to, consult further without actually bringing themselves out into the real world, because that would be awkward. But we're in the Shadow Dungeon now. Then there's a swish sound as Suho goes,
Huh?
and directly in front of them, a red gate opens. In the Shadow Dungeon, all of a sudden, a red gate opens in the Shadow Dungeon. And it's enough to cause everyone to fly back. Well, it causes Essel to kind of fly back just a little bit. Suho sliding, and so is Gray. What?
A gate has appeared in the Shadow Dungeon!
And even Beru's all like, what is going on here?
This heat is stifling. Is it coming from inside this gate?
Beru, how can a gate appear in the Shadow Dungeon?
I'm afraid I can't answer that, young master.
Blip. An urgent quest has arrived. Quest info. Urgent quest. Realm corruption. A corruptive force has been detected in this realm. Enter the gate and eliminate the source of the corruption.
Oh! This sounds like a world event in an MMO. This is literally a world event in an MMO. Like, say for instance, I was let's see, what would be a good example? Like maybe I was playing Guild Wars 2. I haven't touched that game in several years. But say I'm playing Guild Wars 2 and like a world event just opened up, or V Rising. Like one of those gates open up where you can beat enemies and get like a ancestral type, ancient type gear. They open up for a certain period of time. But this is basically, well, you guys know what world events are. I don't need to go down this road. It's like a world event in an MMO. All of a sudden, clear it out.
Ugh, an urgent quest.
And then you just start smiling.
Hey, Essel, Gray, take these.
And he throws jackets on top of them.
Is this?
Item. Heat-resistant robe. Acquisition difficulty. None. Type. Miscellaneous. Wearing this robe protects you from UV rays and heat up to a certain level. Price, 10 gold.
I was itching for another raid anyway, so this is great. Let's enter this gate.
And they enter it, and it's a desert. I was about to say, is this the desert where the giant killer poison centipedes were for Jin's penalty? But no, because we see a gigantic pyramid. No, we're someplace else. No, this is actually the real world. This isn't in the gate. Sorry. I just thought like we were just naturally going to be here in the gate. But no, we're in the desert. We're in Egypt somewhere. Or someplace that has like ancient pyramids with giant statues. This is Egypt. Let's be honest here. This is Egypt. We're in Egypt. And we have like a, yeah, Egyptian field type dungeon, the pyramid field. All I had to do was just scroll down. All I had to do was just scroll down. Okay. Egyptian field type dungeon, the pyramid field. And there's people outside of this pyramid dungeon. And then we get this one dude with thick mustache, earrings in his ear akin to that of Zoro from One Piece, and a big old with curly hair, thick curly hair, and a big old red bandana on top of him. Ugh. Leo Singh, Aura Guild, Asura Guild, B ranked. Why did I say Aura? Asura Guild, B rank hunter. This is outrageous! Kicking us out of the dungeon without notice! We, the Asura Guild, were here first! And someone is staring at him, and it's a dude that has like a regular eye, and the other eye is just glowing green.
Who cares about being first? This is your final warning. This field-type dungeon belongs to us from now on.
And this man is standing here, but his armor is heavily detailed. I'm getting Daedric armor from Skyrim vibes from him. And we only get his foot, but it also looks like it has like a cloak off to the side as well.
This is your final warning. This field-type dungeon belongs to us from now on. If you have a problem with that, it'll be taken as a declaration of war.
Darn it, of all the places to run into the Scavenger Guild.
Absolute power is above all else.
Randolph, Scavenger Guild, A-ranked hunter. His name is just Randolph. He's got white hair, a scar going across the left side of his face, what appears to be a massive shield on his back, and a glowing green eye, and heavily detailed armor that almost kind of looks like a suit, like a business suit, but in armor-plated form. I don't know if it's just me, but it kind of looks that way. But yeah, Randolph, Scavenger Guild, A-ranked hunter.
Get to your battle stations!
And mind you, Leo Sung is saying this to his crew because he's got like a really big dude behind him, like a big Goliath-looking guy with heavy Egyptian motifs, like with the collar that you would see on a pharaoh, and he's super big, like he's got muscles for everybody. And we got another dude with a scimitar in the back as well.
Get to your battle stations!
And then Randolph just passes it off and goes, huh. And mind you, in this panel, we got someone that looks eerily similar to the Goblin Slayer. At least, like, with the masks that this person has on, because Randall's got his own crew. And then someone raises their hand. Excuse me. And right before Leo can do anything to Randolph, and mind you, Leo is about to try and attack Randolph, and Randolph is still standing there with his arms crossed as if Leo's wasn't about to do anything to him at all. So this image right here already tells me that Randolph would easily body Leo. I'm getting his name mixed up with his own guild. Please forgive me. But someone says, excuse me. Huh? And Randolph just looks off. Or maybe, excusez-moi? It's Suho. It's Suho, because he's got his mask on. Excuse me, or maybe excusez-moi? He's saying, where am I in French? I don't know how to speak French, so I don't know how to say this correctly. You know what? Hold on. I want to know how to say this correctly. I want to say this correctly. I'm going to Google Translate this real quick Because I want to say this in French. There we go. Okay. English to French. Where am I? I'm trying to hear it, and she's saying it so fast. Où suis-je? Yeah, he just says, Où suis-je? Where he's saying, where am I? Because Essel's here along with Gray. They teleported okay, I was actually right. Okay, I'm done. Okay, I got it. Suho just got teleported to a field dungeon in another part of the world for an urgent quest to clear the corruption gate that is invading the Shadow Garden directly in front of Randolph, A rank hunter from the Scavenger Guild, and a B rank hunter from the Asura Guild, who are about to fight each other. How does your boy get mixed up in this? Okay. A lot happened. Suho out here beating up giant spiders. Beating up giant spiders in ways that Jin didn't do back then. Figuring out new applications for his power that Jin didn't figure out until much later on in life. And now he's looking for ways to become even stronger, and he can see the levels of his own companions, Essel and Gray, being 17 and... Hold on, let me scroll back up. Because these pages are long. Essel is 19, Gray is 17. Yeah. Essel is level 19, Gray is 17. But they can't see their own, like, status screens or anything of that nature. So, but it just confirms that his own companions, who he has a quest for finding and creating a bond with, they now have levels so we can get a good estimation of where their strength is. Suho himself is getting stronger. His commander's authority, which he's, using a lot more than his father in different ways, that's getting stronger. Still surprised that his hand-to-hand combat level has not gone up, considering all these bosses that he's been fighting and all these gates he's probably been going through. So there's that. But now we have the matter of corruption appearing inside of the Shadow Dungeon, and it teleports him to another part of the world entirely. I thought it was going to teleport him inside of another dungeon itself, but Suho is now here in Egypt, all of a sudden, right here, in the midst of an altercation between the Scavenger Guild and the Asura Guild. And he's now suddenly speaking French. I hope an element of the Shadow Monarch's power is that you're able to understand different languages, because he's suddenly speaking French all of a sudden. Pretty sure French isn't the native language of those who live in Seoul. But I'm just saying. So let me see what you guys have said. Mihai, good to see you. I remember that it was best to just call you Mihai because I know I pronounced your name wrong the last time. But yes, good to see you. Yes, I'm Ramil Cohagen. The story is definitely better than early solo leveling because the side characters are well kind of characters. Yes, I feel like the beginning of this, I feel like where we're going with solo leveling Ragnarok right now is better than the beginning of solo leveling. Mind you, the solo leveling story was very good at the beginning, but the way they're doing it here is very good as well. But Mihai, good to see you. Suho can now do those anime delayed punches where when they punch you, they blow a hole in your back. And you see it happen because then you see the hole left from the clothes. You get punched in the stomach and there's a delay. And then you just see a hole just appear through one's clothes, especially if it's the type of anime where it's not too gory, where they want to save that. You just see the hole blow out of their back of their clothes. but not their body not their body externally or internally. Yup, he's not Jin Virgin 2, where he uses daggers, doesn't have socks, arises every enemy. At least Suho is a completely different character. Do you think Suho and Essel might become a thing in the future? I don't know. Because we haven't been in a situation where Suho has had any eyes on anyone, because frankly, Suho has been spending most of his time just in dungeons fighting. But I don't know. Considering Essel's the only girl of the group, that remains to be seen. I don't know. I hope so. The only example of world event in a game I can think of would be in Ark Survival Ascended Extinction with the Wandering Titan. I never played that much of Ark Survival to get that far. But world events I would think of is, well, for any Destiny 2 players, there would be plenty of events that would transpire when you were in a map. I haven't played Destiny in years, so I don't know what they're doing now. I've lost the narrative of Destiny well after Forsaken and the Shadowkeep. I've lost it all. I have no idea where the story is right now. I'll look at some cutscenes later on, but this is essentially a world event, but it's transdimensional because it goes from a different dimension straight into the real world. So now the question is, what's about to happen now? Because if the source of the corruption is inside this pyramid, then Suho's going to have to get past the Asura Guild, and the Scavenger Guild. One person is a B rank hunter, the other is an A rank. And from Beru's very own personal perspective, Suho would be comparable to a B rank hunter right now. Now, of course, Suho's looking to get stronger, but seeing as how he's been dumped directly in the path of two opposing guilds trying to fight for control over a dungeon that he may have to go into in order to remove this corruption that's corrupting the shadow dungeon itself, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Smart thing for him to have his mask on so that they wouldn't instantly recognize his face should they ever encounter each other later on and he doesn't have it on. So that's smart. But now the question is, how is Suho going to handle this situation? Mind you, Beru just told us that his strength is comparable to a B rank. But we got an A rank hunter here who's just told Leo Sung of the Asura Guild that if you don't leave, this will be seen as a declaration of war. And his crew was ready to square off. Mind you, he just standing there with his arms crossed because he just gives me the vibes of that. Whatever Leo was trying to do to him, it would not have worked. So we got that happening. But we also got the Asura Guild with Leo and his crew, and they're already ready to throw hands. So what's going to happen when Suho may need to get into that pyramid, but he's got to get past Randolph? Mind you, we don't even know how strong either Leo or Randolph actually are. So even though Suho would be comparable in strength to Leo, we don't know all of Leo's capabilities if he and Suho were to fight. And we definitely don't know the capabilities of Randolph. But he scares me more because he doesn't look phased even when someone's about to attack him directly in front of his face. He's just standing there with his arms crossed. So I'm kind of concerned for Suho just a little bit. But I've done enough rambling. Overall, I enjoyed this chapter, and I'm looking forward to the next one, which will be going on break until, the 31st? Because the author for Solo Leveling Ragnarok was in a traffic accident, and his doctor ordered that he does not do anything concerning solo leveling until January 31st. So, we're praying for his health. And yeah, we're praying for his health, that he gets better. Let me see here real quick. Yeah, Doll, Jin, and Brix. I think it was Doll who was in the accident. We're praying for his health and that he gets better. But the next time we get a Solo Leveling Ragnarok chapter, will not be the next Saturday, but it'll be the last Saturday of the month. And if I look here, well, actually, that's a Friday. That's a Friday. Interesting. So the next time we have a solo leveling chapter, we're going to be on a 2-week break until he's better again. And that's if he is willing to, go that extra mile and see if he's fully ready on January 31st. But yeah, because it doesn't show like when the next chapter is supposed to be dropping. It just shows the bottom of the page. Actually, no, it says the next chapter is supposed to be dropping on the 25th. I mean, it's supposed to be dropping on the 18th. I was under the impression that since he was in that traffic accident, that we wouldn't be getting another chapter. Read it on the Asura comic, and it's on chapter 36. Interesting. But I don't read early scans and early translated stuff like that, so I would not know whatsoever. But it says the next chapter we're supposed to be getting is on the 18th. So I don't know how extensive this break is supposed to be for him, honestly. Yeah, I read on official sites. I read on official sites only. I'm strictly legit when it comes to reading stuff. Strictly. Hold on, let me look this up real quick before I go. Because the newest episode of Solo Leveling Season 2 is supposed to be out right now as well. Let me see here. Solo Leveling Ragnarok. Break. Let's see. Hiatus of the web novel. The novel, not the web comic. Yeah. The novel, not the web comic. Two completely different things. Okay. All right, cool. All right. I had to work that out. To make sure live here. But why is the official release is so behind? I don't know. I mean, they did go on a break to get to a brand new... No. That was Turtle Me for the beginning after the end. They went on a hiatus in order to get to a brand new studio, in order to get access to a brand new studio. I don't know, but it's not on me to try and figure out why scans are so far ahead versus like official chapters that are out. I don't know. It could be a publishing thing. I wouldn't be able to tell you. But I'm not worried about it. That's just me, though. I take these chapters on the days that they release them, and that's good enough for me. I'm not worried about how far Korea is in comparison to us getting it in America, just as long as we get them. But overall, I like this chapter. I'm definitely looking forward to the next one. So, to make a correction to what I said earlier, we are not going on break because we're getting another chapter next week. Don't worry. We're getting another chapter next week. I had to double check. But overall, yeah. Yeah, I'm good. Overall, I am looking forward to what happens with Suho being in a completely different part of the world, because as far as we know, he's never left Seoul. He's never left Seoul. We still love the reactions. Well, thank you, Mihai. So see you next week then? Yep. Cyrax, good to see you. You are literally coming in on my outro because I'm about to end this session. I just got done reading this chapter. Wuthering Waves, next stream when? It might be today, depending on how quickly I get through editing today's solo leveling episode. But I'll have to see. If I don't get to it today, then it'll probably be Monday, because Sundays are manga reactions. If I don't get to it today, specifically, Ramil, if I don't get to it today, then it'll be on Monday, because we're already done with Castlevania Order of Ecclesia, so I won't be playing that again. So if I don't get to it today, then it'll be Monday. That's a promise. But yes, All right, I enjoyed this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. All I can say to you, ladies and gentlemen, is hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!